To celebrate our 45th episode, I decided to do 45 fun facts about our 45 presidents. Hello everyone, and today, this happened.
How small his wings are. Yeah.
As you all know, I once promised a fun facts about president video, and I delivered many months ago. But I realized that since it is our 45th episode of The Couch, I might as well do a list on 45 fun facts about the presidents. Because, I can't get enough of fun facts about presidents. So I do have something to say about this list. I am not going to be joking during it, because, to be honest, I had a really hard time coming up with 45 jokes about 45 presidents. I can't really do it all, to be honest. So instead, I'm just going to be relying on the bizarrety of these facts to be the humor of this episode. You're going to... It's emotional humor. Like the stuff you see on the Andy Griffith Show. It's not jokes, it's just real life. And why can't real life be funny too? At least that's my excuse. George Washington loved dogs, and even gave some of his own dogs some unusual names like Tartar, True Love, and Sweet Lips. John Adams was the first president to live in the White House. Thomas Jefferson died on July 4th. Actually, so did John Adams. In fact, they both died on the same day, and before John Adams died, he was quoted as saying, "Thomas Jefferson lives." He was wrong about that. Thomas Jefferson had died about 5 hours earlier. James Madison had two vice presidents that died in office, George Clinton and Elbridge Gerry. Elbridge Gerry's name would later inspire the term gerrymandering. Like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, James Monroe died on July 4th. What do you think are the odds of three founding fathers dying on July 4th? John Adams, son of John Adams, was the first president to be photographed. Andrew Jackson was the first Democrat president. Martin Van Buren's nickname was Old Kinderhook, which popularized the term okay. I've mentioned this before on The Couch, but William Henry Harrison had the shortest term of any president, dying only a month after taking office from pneumonia. John Tyler actually has two grandchildren that are still alive today. If you're wondering how that works, here's how it happened. John Tyler was about 70 when he had his son Lion, and then Lion also had two sons, Lion and Harrison, when he was 70. So they're both kicking today. James K. Polk was the first president to be introduced by the song Hail to the Chief. Hail to the Chief, we adore you and... Again, although I know I've said this before, Zachary Taylor died of drinking milk and eating cherries. Millard Fillmore was one of the few presidents that was actually born in a log cabin. Franklin Pierce was a well-known alcoholic, and was even given the nickname by his opponents, hero of many a well-fought battle. James Buchanan was the only president to never marry. Abraham Lincoln was our first Republican president. Andrew Johnson was the first president to be impeached. It's kind of a long story. It was a bunch of boring legal stuff. I'm not going to get into it. The S in Ulysses S. Grant's name didn't actually stand for anything. It was just the result of an error. Rutherford Hayes was the first president to use a telephone while in office. Chester Arthur's preferred midnight snack was mutton chops. I only say this because I would think that would be Martin Van Buren's favorite snack, with the hair and all. Grover Cleveland was the only president to not serve 2 consecutive terms. He was the 22nd and 24th president. I bet you didn't even know that happened, did you? Benjamin Harrison was the first president to install electricity in the White House. Grover Cleveland was the first president to be filmed. William McKinley used to love to wear carnations and would even sometimes wear them on his label. One time he was going on a Pan-American exposition and he ran into this girl and gave her the carnation. Seconds later, he was shot and killed by an assassin's bullet. Theodore Roosevelt used to love to go skinny dipping. He even once did this in the, wait for it, Potomac River. A lot of my fans will know what I'm talking about when I say that. We come from Maryland, the Potomac River's our thing. William Howard Taft is best remembered as the president that got stuck in a bathtub. Did this actually happen? You know what, I'm just going to go with probably, but there's another bathtub story that people don't remember. And that was when he was going to a hotel, and he sat down in the bathtub, and all the water seeped out from the top, landed on the floor, and then began falling on people's heads down below. William Howard Taft was naturally very embarrassed about this, but he made might of it. He was looking out the window at the Atlantic Ocean, and he was quoted as saying, "You know what, I'm going to go ahead and get all that fenced in. That's why when I go into it, there won't be any overflow." Woodrow Wilson saw Robert E. Lee with his father when he was only 13 years old. Warren Harding is often ranked as one of the worst presidents of all time by historians, due to his many political scandals and frauds and stuff like that. Calvin Coolidge is the only president to be born on July 4th. The Hoover Dam is named after President Herbert Hoover. Franklin Roosevelt is the only president that was elected for 4 terms, and it is very likely that he will be the only president ever elected for 4 terms. Much like Ulysses S. Grant, Harry S. Truman's middle name of S didn't actually stand for anything. His parents decided to give him the name because his grandfathers both had names that started with the letter S. It's kind of weird we have 2 presidents whose middle initial of S didn't actually mean anything. It's a pretty weird coincidence that probably has no significance. After Alaska and Hawaii became states during Dwight Eisenhower's presidency, he became the first president of all 50 states of America. JFK was the only president to win a Purple Heart. I know, it surprised me too. All of Lyndon B. Johnson's family members, including his wife, his 2 daughters, and even his 2 dogs, went by the initials LBJ. Richard Nixon is the only president to resign from office. Dying at the age of 93, Gerald Ford lived longer than any president yet. Jimmy Carter was the first president to be born in a hospital. I know, it surprised me too. It's true, believe me. I really checked this one. Ronald Reagan became the oldest elected president when he took office at the age of 69. Apparently, George H.W. Bush does not like broccoli. In fact, after a broccoli ban on Air Force One, he was quoted as saying, "I do not like broccoli. I was made to eat broccoli when I was a kid by my mom, and I do not like it, and I am President of the United States, and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli." President George H.W. Bush and President Bill Clinton are the only 2 consecutive presidents to both be left-handed. George Bush was originally a cheerleader before becoming president. He's not alone. Franklin Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, and even Ronald Reagan were originally cheerleaders. Barack Obama's favorite film is Casablanca, and his favorite book is Moby Dick. And now we come to the fun fact about Donald Trump, and I have the perfect one. Okay, the moment that Donald Trump became elected, the only thing I could think about was, please, will someone mention the Bloom County comic strip? Anyone, just talk about the Bloom County comic strip. And no one brought it up. No one brought up the Bloom County comic strip. And I was really ticked off. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, this comic strip had came out before Donald Trump was ever running for president. But anyways, if you haven't heard of Bloom County, it's the story about this reporter and this penguin. You know what, actually, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that in the final year of that comic strip, the whole plot line was about how this cat's brain had been switched with Donald Trump. So Donald Trump was now the cat, and he was taking over Bloom County, and he ended up destroying it. And that was how the series ended. And no one brought this up the entire election. I just kept waiting for someone to mention it. and it just was driving me crazy. So finally, I have brought it to light here on the couch. It just, how was this missed? I don't know, but it was. So, what do you do? And that is 45 fun facts about 45 presidents. And I thought I'd end off by honoring those presidents that aren't as well remembered by history, those names on that list that you probably didn't even know about. People like William Henry Harrison, who died only a month after taking office. People like Millard Fillmore, who was only remembered for how insignificant he was. Or people like William Howard Taft, who are only remembered for being fat. Here's to you, presidents we often forget about, and although you may be forgotten, your names are still remembered simply because you were a president. And as always, think big, think different.